hear me?
No.
That was all.
It's now 2:01 on October 7th, and the Medical Cannabis Commission meeting is now called to order. This meeting is subject to the Open Meetings Act, and the act is available for review at the back of the room. Today's agenda is available in the back. If there are documents to be discussed in the meeting, copies of those documents are also available in the back of the room. The next order of business is to record roll call.
Muting.
Here.
Coffee.
Yes.
Oldenburg.
Here. We have a quorum, and we'll proceed with the meeting. The next order of business is a public comment period. I would like to note that the formal regulation promulgation process will have a public comment period and public hearing. That hearing is specifically designed to afford interested members of the public an opportunity to comment on the proposed regulations. Those comments will be reviewed by the Commission, and written responses to the comments are required. The public comment period here today is not a question and answer session. This will be an opportunity for the public to voice comments. Each speaker may comment only once. Offensive language, defamatory remarks, and hostile conduct will not be tolerated. Speakers will be limited to 3 minutes and should state and spell their name for the record. The public comment period will be limited to 1 hour or less if there are not sufficient speakers. Can we have a show of hands of those who intend to speak? For those of you speaking today, is there anyone who needs to speak earlier during the public comment period and is unable to stay for the entire allotted time? Okay. And we're also going to start with the in-person and then go to the Zoom speakers.
L-I-A, Leah. P-O-S-T, Post, Springfield, Nebraska. Medical cannabis patient, opioid epidemic survivor, polypharmaceutical approach to pain management survivor. I thought it would be easy to go to my legislature and tell them that information and let them know that I use medical cannabis instead, and I got off 15 prescription drugs, and my mental health was better, and I was having a life again. And that's not what happened. It's been door after door after door closed in our faces, and I met these patients through advocacy work, just showing up, and Krista Eggers and I met. And Krista was fighting for her son's life. And you gave the lowest score to Colton's. Oh, evil. The lowest score of anyone went to Krista's, named for her son Colton. Reason Krista does this. And the simple fact that Krista Eggers is a wonderful human being that cares beyond self. I'm pausing because I don't think many people do that nowadays. I thought maybe it would strike a chord, but I also know where I am. You try to think what to say, and then when you come in here, you just get like a baseball bat, honestly, to your central nervous system. because you just never know what's coming. Oh, no, we don't want to do that, but if we don't do it, the governor won't sign it. And then Pillen's saying, no, it's the commission. They're the ones that are doing all this writing. Every bit of it. Every stitch. But man, we've seen a lot of different attorneys from a lot of different agencies. But we got a judge now, so that'll be good. I would trade everyone in this room for one Krista Eggers, including myself. I appreciate what she has done to try and get the true will of the people done appropriately through the law, through the public. And I think she's done that. But today she suffered a blow no mother should ever suffer. And whoever gave her an 11 shouldn't be involved with this commission.
Any other in-person speakers?
My name is Krista Eggers, Cristaeggers, and I wanted to let the commission know that I'm speaking on myself, but for myself personally today, as a mother who's been fighting for a long time, not just for my son, but for others, I am grateful that the commission has moved forward in the licensing process. I hope that the individuals that receive these licenses are good people that have every intention of providing good medicine to the people of the state that so desperately need it. I do hope that we see some transparency with a matrix and things so that all applications, all license applicants have that information to go forward so that they know how they scored. I'd also like to let the commission know that I'm grateful that we're giving the Zoom platform for people to access these meetings because it really does affect their lives. That's all I have. Thank you.
Any other in-person speakers? Go ahead to Zoom.
Maggie B.
Lynette Richards.
Maggie B was first on the line.
Thank you. I wrote some notes here. Can you hear me okay? All right, I see nods. So my name's Maggie Ballard, MAGGIE-BALLARD. And I just wanted to offer my appreciation for each of you taking on a task that I imagine would be about as challenging as giving a cat a bath. Everyone that I have talked to that signed this ballot initiative so that Nebraska would have medical marijuana told me that they did so because they, quote, knew that it was not going to be the same stuff that people use to get high. They said that it wasn't stuff that anyone would be able to smoke. And I know the ballot language refers to weight, but does not specify needing to be smokable. And so as someone with asthma, also someone who knows a lot of people that are in recovery for addiction, a lot of them are very easily triggered by the smell of cannabis. I just wanted to express my appreciation for your diligence in keeping dispensaries from smelling the smokable flower. What's frustrating is that obviously this doesn't prevent people from smoking any of the semi-synthetic derivatives or smoking the flower that they've gotten from other states or from their dealer, although I tend to think that some of the people commenting during these meetings maybe haven't realized that. But as far as everything that you all have done on this commission, as far as what you're doing for dispensaries and manufacturers, I just want to echo my appreciation and the appreciation of many Nebraskans that are either unaware of these meetings or have been way too afraid to speak up at these meetings because they understand how polarized this topic has become. And not really addressed towards you, but I do hope the media can do a better job of reporting on these hearings in a way that is not so polarizing and not doing just the same thing over and over again. And I will yield the rest of my time.
Next is Christy Knorr.
Hi, my name is Christy Knorr, Christy Knorr. I live in Omaha, Nebraska. I wanted to start this by quoting what Governor Pellins said. My advocacy for it is that if you have a medical condition and you need it, you'll get it, but it's going to taste like crap. It's going to be a bitter pill to swallow. When I heard that, it's abhorrent and it enraged me. Would you tell a diabetic, I hope your insulin burns every time you have to inject yourself? Would you tell someone with major depressive disorder that you hope they get side effects from their mental health medication? No, you wouldn't. And as a nurse, we take an oath to do no harm. Dr. Oldenburg, you've taken an oath to do no harm. Limiting what we voted on is harmful. The restrictions are harmful. Let me tell you about my wife. In February, my wife will be dead 5 years. She was the most kind, loving, happiest person, and then she got diagnosed with multiple myeloma. She took her chemotherapy as she was ordered. Imagine one morning, I'm traveling for work. She's in tears because she couldn't tolerate the bed covers on her from neuropathy. It hurt so bad, yet she was so cold. So I came home, went to Menards, built a little bed cradle so that she could have the covers over her and be warm without them touching her skin. But imagine how it was that night when I heard her stomping up and down the hall. She had already gotten in the bath, into a warm bath so she could see if it would help her pain. She had dunked her legs into buckets of ice water to see if we could get her brain to go somewhere else to get it off of the pain. The only thing that took the edge off the pain for her was marijuana, not the narcotics, not the neuropathy pills that they gave her, not the drugs that they gave her. Marijuana was the only thing that took the edge off enough for her to be able to sleep. And if you know anything, sleep and rest is one of the most healing things for the human body. I'm a hospice nurse. I take care of people at the end of life. People deserve choices in what medications they take. Taking morphine, other opiates, and benzodiazepines can often have side effects. They can make people sleepy, not as present, and confused at times. And I've seen people be able to take marijuana in whatever form. Some have smoked it, some have ate it. Some people have had tinctures, and some people have had topicals. But they deserve those choices to be able to control their symptoms and be as present as they can possibly be in those last days of life. It matters, and I urge you and I implore you to please follow the will of the voters. 71% of Nebraskans voted for this. Our patients deserve choice. They deserve it. Please give it to them. I know this isn't an easy task, but let's not make this a bitter pill to swallow. Nebraskans deserve so much better. Thank you.
Monument prevention is up next.
Good afternoon. My name is Lynette Richards, and I'm the Executive Director of Monument Prevention in Scottsbluff, so I'm online from Scottsbluff. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Commission for setting guidelines to protect the children of the state of Nebraska from harm caused by marijuana use. Even though this Commission is setting guidelines for medical marijuana, we all know there is no difference between marijuana and medical marijuana. I appreciate the work you are doing without pay to protect children. I would first like to address the harms of edibles, which are very appealing to our children. These are usually packaged to look like candy, cookies, and such as that. Another concern is the smoking piece. We talk a lot about secondhand smoke. It doesn't pertain only to nicotine. It also involves marijuana smoke. Some of the side effects include itching eyes, coughing, and headaches, to just name a few. The American Academy of Pediatrics report that 7,043 exposures were reported during 2017 to 2021. Keep in mind that THC levels during that time were less than what they are today. The exposure is in 2017, there were 207 reported cases. In 2021, there were 3,054 cases, an increase of 1,375%. And 97% of that occurred in residential settings. 70% of these cases that were followed, a known outcome was to have central nervous system depression. According to the Columbus Dispatch, more than 200 children under the age of 6 were exposed to edibles from January 24th, 2024 through July of 2024, according to the Ohio Poison Center. Increased access to any product means increased exposure. Keep in mind, this data is for ages 6 and under. Marijuana doesn't affect only the person using it. Being around secondhand marijuana smoke and vapor can cause lung irritation and asthma flare-ups, make someone feel high because of the THC, cause babies and children who are around secondhand marijuana smoke to have measurable amounts of THC in their blood. I urge the Commission to continue to make your decisions from research, science, and data over emotion. A lot of testimony I hear is on emotion and not facts. Thank you.
That's it for me.
So we'll go ahead and move on. The next order of business is the payment of the invoice from the Lincoln Journal-Star for the publication of the required notice of the public hearing for the regulation promulgation process. The invoice is from September 11th and is for $68.37. Is there a motion and a second for the payment of the invoice?
So moved.
Second. Okay, I have a motion from Commissioner Coffey and a second from Commissioner Muting. Is there any discussion on the motion?
Muting,
Yes.
Coffee,
Yes.
Oldenburg.
Yes. Motion carries. The next order of business is to discuss the cultivator license applications. The evaluation team has reviewed and evaluated the applications, and based on the scoring results, the following applications are eligible to receive an offer of licensure. Nancy Laughlin Wagner on behalf of Midwest Cultivator Group and Patrick Thomas. These two applications had an average score of more than 70 points, and the applications were deemed complete with no other disqualifying factors identified. So we're gonna first take up Nancy Laughlin Wagner on behalf of Midwest Cultivators Group. Is there a motion and a second to approve the application and issue an offer letter to the applicant?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion from Commissioner Coffey and a second from Commissioner Muting. Is there any discussion?
Muting.
Yes.
Coffee.
Yes.
Oldenburg.
Yes. The motion carries. Moving on to Patrick Thomas. Is there a motion and a second to approve the application and issue an offer letter to the applicant?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Coffey and a second from Commissioner Muting. Is there any discussion?
Muting.
Yes.
Coffee.
Yes.
Oldenburg.
Yes. The motion carries. The evaluation team scored 2 applications at 70 or below, making these applicants ineligible to receive an offer of licensures. These applicants are Krista Eggers and Casey Sledge on behalf of Stone Pine Works. Let's take up Krista Eggers' application. Is there a motion and a second to deny the application and an issue a denial letter to the applicant based on the application score?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Muting and a second from Commissioner Coffey. Is there any discussion?
Muting.
Yes.
Coffee.
Yes.
Oldenburg.
Yes, the motion carries. Next, let's take up Casey Sledge on behalf of Stone Pine Works. Is there a motion and a second to deny the application and issue a denial letter to the applicant based on the application score?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Muting and a second from Commissioner Coffey. Is there any discussion?
Muting.
Yes.
Coffee.
Yes.
Oldenburg.
Yes, the motion carries. Since the commission voted to deny 2 applications, denial letters will be sent to those applicants. All applicants that receive a denial letter have 10 business days to appeal the denial. The denial letters will be dated October 8th, and the appeal period will extend to October 23rd. The commission will not be able to award a license to the next applicant until the appeal time period expires. If an appeal or appeals are filed, the appeal hearings will need to be scheduled and decided upon prior to decisions being made on the next 2 applications. For example, if both denied applicants file an appeal, both hearings will need to be heard prior to voting on the next 2 applications. If only one appeal is filed, we could vote on the next application in order drawn. If no appeals are filed, we will vote on both of the next 2 applications in order drawn. If an applicant does not appeal, the commission will need to review an additional application in the order drawn. To prevent further delay in issuing all cultivator licenses, the commission could move forward with evaluating the next 2 applications during the appeals period. The commission could, however, wait to see if an appeal is filed before beginning the evaluation of the next 2 applications. What are your thoughts on how we should go ahead and proceed?
I feel like maybe in order to expedite the process, maybe we should review the next 2 applications just so that if no appeals are filed, we're ready to go. If appeals are filed, then we just pause on the next 2 applications. That would be my opinion.
I agree.
And I also agree. Based on this discussion, I believe the commission would like to move forward with conducting the evaluations of the next 2 applications. Is there a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Coffey and a second from Commissioner Muting. Is there any discussion on the motion?
Muting.
Yes.
Coffee.
Yes.
Oldenburg.
Yes. Motion carries. We will need to designate evaluators. Do we all want to review and score the applications independently and submit scores to one member for tallying and then bring the results back to the board like we did last round? Or any other ideas?
No, I feel like we should keep the same process.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion from Commissioner Coffey and a second by Commissioner Muting. Is there any discussion on the motion?
Muting.
Yes.
Coffee.
Yes.
Oldenburg.
Yes, the motion carries. The next order of business is to remind the public that the public hearing for the formal regulations has been set for October 15th at 1 p.m. in the Meadowlark Room in the lower level of this building. In addition, the date for our next regularly scheduled meeting will be November 3rd at 1 p.m. in this room. Do we want to seek a motion to go into executive session to discuss strategy related to imminent litigation, and that the closed session is necessary for the protection of the public interest?
Yes.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
A second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Coffey and a second from Commissioner Muting. Is there any discussion on executive session? There's a motion to go into closed executive session.
Muting,
Yes.
Coffee,
Yes.
Oldenburg.
Yes. The motion carries, and we will go into closed executive session. The time is now 2:25, and we are moving into closed session for the limited purpose of discussing pending litigation. We will return as soon as the closed session is concluded.